Hi, everybody. It's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching my video today. Today's video is called What Not to Do When Training a Dog, Top Dog Training Myths. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about 7 of the top most common dog training myths. And then toward the end of the video, we're going to talk about the correct way to train a dog and talk about the right training methods for a dog. If you've never been here before, welcome. My name is Deborah. I own a website called PeopleLovingAnimals.com. We're on the website right now. I'm not going to read you this article. I'm just going to use it to guide us through the video so that I can cover all the points. I am going to give you in the description box for this video a link to this article, so you are going to be able to go in here if you would like to read the article in its entirety. You can click on all the links in it and so forth, but any links or anything that I mentioned in the video, I will give you the link for in the description box. So if you are not already a subscriber, I would love it if you would subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do a video at least once a week all about the care, health, and training of dogs and cats. And I would love it as well if you would visit my website, PeopleLovingAnimals.com. And we're all about helping animals. So thanks so much for joining me. Now, relax. If you're having a problem training your dog, I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to be able to give you some help. And I'm going to refer you to a dog training program online, but I'm also going to give you access to a whole lot of free information too. So hang with me and don't worry, we're going to get your pooch straightened out. Speaking of pooches, isn't this one beautiful? What a beautiful picture. Just aren't dogs great? They just really are. So let's get into the video. I don't want to keep you too long. If you've been here before, you know I tend to be long-winded. I always say I'm not going to be, and then I always am. But I'll try to get through this as quickly as we can. What not to do when training a dog. It's amazing how many people think that if they're forceful enough with their dog, if they yell at the dog enough, or if they even resort to hitting the dog or using a shock collar, that eventually the dog will behave. Not only are these just not the best examples of what to do, they're examples of what not to do when training a dog, but it's just sad. When you are yelling at your dog or hitting your dog or being forceful with your dog, it's just cruel and it's not effective. The only thing that it does is it makes your dog fear you, and it doesn't compute in their head. They don't operate that way. That's not how they're going to learn to, love and respect and obey you. And it's just not only ineffective, but it's cruel. And in this video, we're going to talk about the right training methods. Okay. Let's go over these 7 myths. These are the top dog training myths. Myth number 1, older dogs are set in their ways and can't be trained. This is untrue. You might have heard the expression, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and it's just not true. The problem is more likely that the dog owner is using either outdated training methods or they just have no idea how to train the dog. In most cases, teaching an older dog is usually actually easier than teaching a younger dog. If you've ever tried to train a puppy, what comes to mind for me is picture like a boxer puppy. If you got a 5-month-old boxer puppy, I'm laughing because they're ridiculous. They're bouncing all over the place. They have unlimited energy. They have an attention span of about half of a second. Everything's in their mouth. I mean, puppies are hard to train. They're rambunctious and they're hyperactive and they have such a low attention span, whereas an older dog is more mature. They're not jumping around. They're not trying to get everything in their mouth. They don't have unlimited, energy levels and all this. So it is untrue that you can't teach an old dog. You can teach an old dog the same as you can teach a young dog because their brains work the same. Their thought processes work the same. We're going to talk a little bit more in this video about the way a dog thinks, okay? Because that's an important part of dog training. Myth number 2, shouting or screaming at the dog is okay. It's not. If you're trying to do this for dog training, you're going to quickly find out that it doesn't work. The more you shout at the dog, first of all, the more they're going to get used to it. Eventually, they're just going to completely ignore it. They're not even going to be affected by the fact that you're shouting. And the other thing, too, is, if you're saying something to your dog or asking something of your dog and they don't understand or they're not responding, saying it louder doesn't make a difference. Okay, so yelling, it just doesn't make a difference. And again, you're going back to that fear factor where you're trying to shout at the dog to make them fearful, and it's just not effective. All it really does is it teaches your dog to fear you, and the dog eventually gets used to the shouting. So eventually it wouldn't be effective anyway. Um, the trick to training your dog correctly has nothing to do with shouting or screaming. It has everything to do with gaining the dog's trust so he chooses to obey you. There's kind of two themes here that revolve around the best way to train a dog, and it's kind of a combination of, number one, teaching the dog to follow you and teaching the dog to obey you, and making it so that the dog wants to obey you, so that they see that as a positive thing, and also so that they see you as the decision maker. And it's actually a relief for the dog that they don't have to make the decisions, and they don't have to decide everything. They don't have to protect the yard. They don't have to protect the kids. They don't have to fight for their food. They don't have to do all these things. When you're doing effective dog training, your dog will start looking to you to be the decision maker. And that's part of it. And also just, gaining your dog's love and trust and respect is just going to make a better relationship between the two of you, and the dog is going to want to please you. He's going to want to obey you. And the way you do that is you understand how the dog thinks. And again, we're going to talk about that a little later in the video, of understanding a dog's thought processes. It's kind of a combination. You're going to see kind of a recurring theme here as we go through these points. Myth number 3, using a clicker is necessary for successful dog training. I've never understood this. I think it's stupid. Yes, it can be effective. Oh, every time, you teach the dog to sit and he sits and you make a click and you give him a treat, and you make a click and you give him a treat, make a click and give him a treat. Well, isn't giving him the treat enough? You're the clicker. You're the clicker. You can speak to your dog. You can create the same sound every time your dog does something good. The clicker is just an interference. It's a go-between. You don't need it. You don't need it. You can communicate with your dog. Your dog can hear you. He can understand you without a clicker. And the other thing too is you don't want to train your dog with a clicker, because then you got to have the clicker in your pocket for the rest of your life. Nor do you want to necessarily just train your dog with treats, because you don't want to have a treat for the rest of the dog's life. There are more effective ways to train your dog where you don't have to have this outside stuff. You don't need a clicker. You don't need a whistle. You don't need treats in your pocket all the time. Now, these things, minus the clicker. In my opinion, the clicker is just stupid. I don't see any reason for it. Things like treats, yes, they can be very effective. You're teaching the dog to do things, you're rewarding him with a treat, but then you eventually work your way out of that, so you don't have to have a pocket full of milk bones the rest of your life. So the point is, you don't have to have a clicker. You don't have to have a clicker. Use your own voice. You're the clicker, okay? Myth number 4, if a dog can't be trained, then there's something wrong with the dog. There has actually never been a dog that has some sort of malfunction that they're untrainable. It's just a myth, all right? The problem is never the dog. The problem is always that the dog's owner doesn't know the correct training techniques. And honestly, I hope that's good news for you if you're kind of losing hope with training your dog, or you're thinking it's so hard to train your dog. It's good news. You can train your dog. You just need to know how. And we're going to talk about the right tools later, a little bit later in this video. Myth number 5, to gain a dog's respect, you must physically correct and dominate them. Again, stupid. And I'm going to try not to be nasty here, but boy, does this get my blood boiling. I can't stand that. All I can think of is the term macho crap. I hate so much when I see some guy, some macho jerk, go out and get a pit bull or a Rottweiler and then go out, set about going to prove what a big man he is because his pit bull is afraid of him, or look at how I grab my Rottweiler by the throat. It's a bunch of crap. It is cruelty. It is grossly ineffective for dog training. Just because you're walking around and your dog is terrified of you doesn't mean you're a good dog trainer. It means you're an idiot. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Take it back. I'm not sorry. It is idiotic. It is stupid. It is cruel, and it is ineffective. There are loving, kind ways to train a dog. I got to drop it because I'm getting really upset just thinking about it. Being physical or forceful with their dog, yelling or screaming at the dog are not only completely ineffective, but it's also cruel. Love and respect works way better. One of the best ways to train your dog is by earning his respect, not forcing him to respect you out of fear or pain. And when you know how to win your dog's respect properly, he'll trust you for life. He'll be obedient because he wants to, not because you forced him to. It's just not okay, and it's not necessary. Myth number 6, a dog trainer can train your dog for you. Nope. A dog is not a robot that, the dog trainer's going to come pick him up. He's going to do a bunch of training. He's going to program your dog, and then he's going to drop him off, and the dog's all of a sudden going to understand commands and everything else. Their dog's not going to just be magically trained by spending time with a dog trainer. It's just not the way it works. The most important factor in dog training is earning the dog's respect, building a relationship with your dog. Nobody can do that for you. They cannot be programmed by one individual and then be user friendly where now everybody can interact with the dog. It takes you need to take the time to train your dog yourself, use the correct techniques, and it will not only resolve in a well-behaved dog, but a nice, wonderful relationship between the two of you. And that's another aspect of dog training that sometimes I think is overlooked, and that you want to have a good life with your dog. I mean, of course, you don't want the dog to destroy the couch every time you go to work, and you don't want the dog peeing all over the house, and you don't want the dog biting the neighbor kids and all these things. I mean, of course, there's the dog behavior issues that need to be addressed, but the other equally important factor is the relationship factor. Why'd you get a dog to begin with? Probably because you love dogs. You want the dog to have a happy, healthy life, and you want to have a happy relationship with your dog. You want to enjoy your life together. And so that's why it's really worth the time to build a relationship with your dog and use the right dog training techniques, and get all that stuff out of the way so that your dog is behaving properly. Your dog is going to be more calm. He's going to be less anxiety ridden. He's going to be he's just going to be more relaxed. He's going to obey more, and the two of you are just going to have a nice life together if you take the time to train your dog. And you need to do it yourself. Having a dog trainer do it for you. A dog trainer can't just take your dog and go train him for you. Okay. Myth number 7. The best way to stop a dog from barking is using a shock collar. This is another I don't like shock collars. I think they're stupid. I wish they had never been invented. If you don't know what it is, it's a small electrical box that you attach to the dog's collar, and then when they misbehave in some way, it gives them an electrical shock. Really? Really? I'm sorry, but you will never convince me that is okay. You will never convince me that that's okay. Um, in the article, I talk about a professional dog trainer once tested the collar on himself. He used the lowest setting, and it literally brought him to tears. Using a shock collar is cruel, and it makes me sick that these devices are even sold. I am giving you the link in this article. And I'll try to remember to link it in the description box of the video as well. I'm going to take you right now. This is PETA's website. They were asked the question, do you approve of electric fences and shock collars? And you can go ahead and you can read this article. But needless to say, their answer is no. They don't agree with them. And I don't think that there's any reason. Now, I personally know someone who had a beautiful golden Labrador retriever, was using a shock collar. I think it was to keep the dog in the yard, and the shock collar malfunctioned, and it literally electrocuted the dog to death. It was a terrible, painful, excruciating, unnecessary death to the dog. Am I being over dramatic? No. because it happened to that dog who I personally know. Okay, so it's not a myth. It's not, oh, shock collars are safe. No, they're not. And, think about this. I don't know about you, but my mother raised me and my brother and sister without using electrical shock. Really? I can't even discuss this without being sarcastic because really? You need electric shock treatment to try to train a dog? It's absurd. It's absurd. Um, you just don't need it. There are loving, effective dog training techniques that once you learn them, you can effectively train your dog. The shock collars are usually just not even effective. Usually, like if you're trying to use, say, a shock collar to get a dog not to bark, usually they'll either just bark through the pain, or they'll just become silent out of fear. The whole shock factor thing never makes sense in the dog's head to begin with. Um, it's just not a good thing. It's just beyond sad. Training a dog with the use of pain is never the right thing to do. And make no mistake, when that dog gets a shock, I don't care what setting you've got that stupid collar on, electric shock hurts. It is pain, and there's just no reason ever to induce pain, to produce pain for your dog. In this article, I just give a link to an article about how to stop your dog from barking, but I'm gonna give you help on virtually any dog training issue. Now, here we are with Doggy Dan. Doggy Dan is a professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist. He owns the dog training website called The Online Dog Trainer. I'm referring you to Doggy Dan for dog training. Now, let me just give you some information here. The correct way to train the dog is gentle, loving, respectful, effective training techniques. Your dog can be trusted and be a companion for you for years to come. They'll do anything for you. They'll protect you at all costs. They will love you more unconditionally than any human being is capable of. I have experienced that in my own life with dogs that I've owned, and it's absolutely true. It is in fact worth the investment of time to train your dog correctly, and so that the two of you can have a nice life together. Wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to worry about your dog's behavior, if he didn't bark constantly, if he didn't jump up on people when they come to the house, if he never attacked anybody, if he didn't chase cars or kids on bikes? What if the dog actually listened to you? I'm going to refer you to this website. I'm going to give you the link in the article. I'm also going to give you a link in the description box. I'm going to take you here now. It's called The Online Dog Trainer. This is Doggy Dan. And this dog training website has more than 300 videos of Doggy Dan training a dog. It also has a full dog training course laid out for it. A lot of it is free. Don't get upset about money. Let me just tell you about this. First of all, there's more than 300 videos on Doggy Dan's website of him going to people's houses and actually training their dogs. So you get to see one-on-one with a dog trainer what the techniques are, okay? Within the Doggy Dan website, there is several free dog training articles. There's dog training courses. There's dog training on absolutely everything. Now, you can see when you go to this homepage that I'm going to give you the link to, Doggy Dan will ask you, what are you looking for help for? You want your dog to listen and come every time he's called. You want your dog to stop barking at people. You want your dog to walk nicely on a leash. You want your dog to stop being aggressive toward people or other animals, or you need help training a new puppy. Whatever it is, you can find this specific help that you need on this website. And like I said, there's over 300 training videos that you have access to. There's lots of articles on here. If you look under here under solutions, you'll see there's a free dog obedience course that's in here. There's a free potty training course that's in here. There's a puppy training information, dog calming code. That's obviously a training about calming your dog, solving your dog's problems, or becoming a dog trainer. He also has information about that too. So Doggy Dan for $1 will give you full access to the whole website, not just the free obedience course and all that stuff. But for $1, he'll give you full access to the entire thing where you can watch as many videos as you want on any topic for 3 days. And then after the 3 days, if you decide you can have a monthly subscription, it's like $37 a month. And you can cancel at any time. So if you get a month subscription, spend the time watching as many videos as you need to watch on whatever dog training issues you're having. You can get a 6-month membership and then it's discounted. And I think you can get a 1-year membership too. But regardless, I do recommend that you go into Doggy Dan's website and watch some of the videos, and you're going to see what I'm talking about with this theme of teaching your dog to respect you, making it so that your dog wants to obey you. You make it so that it's the dog, it's kind of a natural thing for the dog to listen to you. That's what Doggy Dan's training does. And also a huge part of the training is learning how the dog thinks. I always say that people give dogs way too much credit when it comes to their thought processes. Their thought processes are so much less complicated than you think. We give them too much credit. Oh, my dog thinks this, or he thinks that, or my dog is doing this because of this, or he's doing that because of that. No, they can't even think at that level. They really don't even think at that level. That's a human way of thinking. A dog's way of thinking is much more simple. It's much more black and white. It's very cause and effect. You will be amazed when you watch a few of Doggy Dan's training videos and you start to understand his concept of dog training. You're going to be amazed at really how simple it is. And once you have the ability to understand how the dog thinks, you're going to be able to teach him. You're going to be able to teach him in a way that he can understand. That's the trick is teaching your dog in a way that he can understand what you're asking of him. And I always believe that dogs are people pleasers. If they can figure out what you're asking of them, they usually want to do it. They are people pleasers. They like to make you happy. And again, you just have to figure out, you have to learn how a dog thinks. So that combined with training your dog in a way that makes your dog want to look to you for direction. It all ties in together. So that's Doggy Dan's website. I'm going to give you the link to that. Now, like I said, you can go in there, you can click on the free dog training course, you can get a lot of information. For $1, you can have 3 days of full access to the entire dog training website. And then if you like it and there are more videos that you want to watch, especially if you're having specific training issues with your dog, then you can get a monthly membership and you can cancel at any time as soon as you've, gotten all the information that you need. So I'm really happy to recommend that to you for more help. Okay. It really is worth the time and the effort to learn these dog training techniques, learn the correct techniques so that you can do the dog training with your dog. You're happy, the dog's happy, and the two of you can have a nice life together, right? Within this article, and I'll also give you the link in the description box, is my full review of the Doggy Dan online dog trainer website. And just a couple more things before we go. First of all, I donate to animal charities. I am an affiliate marketer, and peoplelovinganimals.com is one of my biggest websites that I have. And like I say, I do all kinds of articles and blog posts and videos all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. And in the process of doing that, I research products and services that I recommend to people to help people with their issues with their dogs and cats. Today's video is an example. I'm giving you help, I'm giving you information, and I'm referring you to a product or service that can help you. I am an affiliate for Doggy Dan. I'm a rep for Doggy Dan, and I get commission. I get a small commission for anyone that does actually get a membership to the online dog trainer. There's other articles or videos that I do where I might be recommending a certain cat food or a certain litter box or, certain things like that. And what I do is I research the best products and services, and then I recommend those, and then I get a small commission for doing that. But there's also a whole lot of just free information in my articles and also my YouTube videos. If you want to look around on my website, my YouTube channel, you'll see I've done tons of articles where I'm giving you the information, whether you buy anything or not. Okay, so it's not all about that, but I do earn small commissions on some of the products and services, not all of them, but some of the products and services that I recommend on my website and in my YouTube videos. And I donate 10% of all of those commissions to animal charities. And if you go to this article, you'll see a link here. Also, I'll give you the link to my website in the description box. On the home page of my peoplelovinganimals.com website, you'll see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So that for that reason, I'm going to ask you to please go ahead and, first of all, like this video if you got any value out of it. It does help YouTubers when you hit the like button. Also, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, it would help to support the channel if you became a subscriber. Like I said, I do videos every week. And please refer the YouTube channel and also the website to your friends and family who have animals, because if people are going to be purchasing these sorts of products for their dogs and their cats, a portion of that might as well go to animal charities. Also, it supports me. This is how I can do this for a living, so that I can continue doing articles and videos that help people with their dogs and cats. And also, it may help your friend or your family member if they have an aggressive dog, if they have a cat that won't use the litter box, if they have a dog who is, eating the couch every time they go to work. If you may have a friend or family, a friend or a family member who has some kind of an issue with their dog or cat, and my website or my YouTube channel could very well have the help that they need. So I am going to ask you, please, as a fellow animal lover, to please share my website and share my YouTube channel with other animal lovers. One more thing, in the description box to this video, I'm going to give you the link to this article that we've used for today's video. That's going to take you to my website. I'm also going to give you these links that we talked about, the link to PETA about the shock collars. I'm also going to give you the link to Doggy Dan's website. And I'm also going to give you a link to subscribe to my dog lovers email list. Now, when you subscribe to that list, you automatically get a copy of Doggy Dan's dog training manual. And if you want to look through that, you're going to find a lot more information about Doggy Dan's concept of dog training. And that'll just come free automatically once you subscribe to the email list. And then once you're subscribed, about once a week or so, you'll get an email from peoplelovinganimals.com, and it'll be all about dogs, dog training, dog health issues, care for your dog, all sorts of things about dogs. And I would love to have you as a subscriber. So again, I hope that I've helped. I hope I've given you some good information here. I'm happy to introduce you to Doggy Dan and his concepts for dog training, because in my mind, it really is the best dog training out there. It's the best help you can get, and I really do think it's the best way to train your dog in a loving, gentle, and effective way. I'm very happy that you have stayed. Thanks so much for watching through the video, and I hope that I've helped. Also, always please comment if you would, if you have any questions, or if there's any issues that you're having with your dog or cat that you would like some help on. Please comment. I'm happy to help if I can. So again, thanks so much for tuning in and watching the video. I'm happy to have you. If you're a subscriber already, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Again, my name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.